Hello, YouTube. I've been busy. I'm one of those YouTubers that actually does stuff, so try to provide you quality information and videos, but less frequently. I'm not throwing junk out there. This is the path to a six-figure homestead. Now, you guys know some of the things that I do. I have a freeze-dried smoothie company we invented. I do other things as well you don't even know about, doing some consulting for greenhouses. It's crazy. My stubborn butt, though, and the preparedness mindset, I force myself to diversify. I force myself to be prepared, self-sufficient, sustainable, regenerative, and I do the homestead stuff. This is my path to literally clearing six figures on a small, diversified, sustainable homestead. Money for nothing and my chicks for free. Now, maybe I should start with this. It's going to take some capital and a lot of time and a lot of years of working for free. You know, one of the jokes is for any business, and I do kind of multiple things. It's like starting 20 different businesses all at once, doing the multi-purpose things that I do. But in 10 years, I became an overnight success. 10 years of hard work, right? So I've been at it for 11 on the homestead since bare land, pioneered from nothing. And we're getting to this point. It's so darn exciting, I tell you. My little herd of cows, I have enough to sustain the pasture land and the feed land that I have with no feed costs, because I get my own feed. There's a little bit of expenses and stuff. Hey, Lucas, these guys are prize genetics cows, Dexter cows. So without selling prize genetics stock for breeding for other folks, without doing any dairy, these are the best cheese and A2 protein cattle. Without doing anything, just beef, this is a $30,000 a year clear operation after expenses. Beef cattle. That's after everything. That's annual vet checkups. That's their salt block. They only get the best grass. They haven't touched grain. Ivermectin is the only thing they get. And I love them. This is my bull, Lucas, and he's the best. That's $30,000 a year. Is it a pain in the butt to get into? Absolutely. Now, I'm sure a lot of big farmers might be watching this. This guy's a wannabe farmer. I have 200 head of Angus cows, right? So they buy feed. It's a full-time operation. They take it to auctions. They don't have maybe as good a product, probably injected with every type of thing, vet checkups. They have diseases go through. No, thank you. And I'm taking it to that size, a little bit bigger of that operation. So much fun, I tell you. Now, here's a path to another 30 grand a year. So off of each, now they get organic feed, my chicken operation. Each one of these with a run outside is 120 organic laying hen operation. But I have tom turkeys. We're hatching a bunch of turkey eggs. Roosters in here. We're hatching a bunch of heritage. I'm going to get to that shortly. But each one of these produces $30,000 worth of organic eggs a year. Now, you want to be competitive. You want to sell all your eggs. So let's cut that back to $25,000 a year. And with the feed cost, organic feed, because I'm not a grain farmer, maybe each one of those is like $5 grand worth a year worth of feed, a little bit of supplement. You know, it's a chore, but each one of these is essentially, I can bring up to $30,000 a year, right? So no quota, no nothing, no grocery stores, no middlemen, no margins. People that buy beef also buy eggs. I can also sell laying hens. I'm going to get to that shortly, but so there's 60,000. And that's like with not any expenses other than me kind of putzing around doing things. Those are two things. Now, that's 30,000 on that. We also can are doing duck eggs. That's another 30. So that's 90. And let's cut it back. Let's say 10 grand in feed, and you run into some problems. There's no cost. I get my own feed for the grass-fed stuff. The only thing is supplement and grains, organic grains for them. Like there's no other expenses, a little bit of electricity, but everything's kind of going off grid. I don't even have that cost. Wow, how exciting. Now, I'm busy doing some other things. So for me to go pick eggs and shovel shit and do some of this stuff, it's getting to the point where I get a farmhand. Now you pay them a good living wage, but actually we're going to have them live out here and make an arrangement. So it's not going to be a full-blown wage. All expenses are covered and I save somebody from the troubles of society or whatever. So exciting. How about, would you like to make $2,000 a month without any costs? This is kind of neat. This thing holds 288 chicken eggs. I have no affiliation, GQF. I bought this used, whatever. But constantly hatching chicks. Oh, it's on that tilt thing, but yeah, they're hatching. I just moved them out. Some of them. So this is a heritage mix. Each heritage mix laying hen, if you want a specific breed, they're anywhere from like $12 to $25 at a standard hatchery, all vaccinated and all that stuff. There's actually a market for unvaccinated stuff, and people pay a premium for that. But let's say instead of $20, you sell them for $10. Okay, that's about the rate. And you can do 288. You won't have 100% hatching. 200 a month. No feed cost on day-old chicks. So 200 times $10 is $2,000 a month, with the only cost is that light bulb and the incubator. Now, again, I don't just do that, but that's my heritage mix. They are a mixed breed of kind of the best heritage layers. It's kind of, you get a mixed bag and all different color eggs and stuff. So many people getting into chickens. There's a big demand for that. Here's the ducks. So this is 200 khaki Campbell ducks. Ducks are a better egg. They're bigger. They lay for many more years. They're more cold hardy than chickens, and there's more nutrition in the eggs. Now, so I can max this out, the laying operation, do a few hundred of those and a few hundred of those layers. So that's about 60 grand a year of eggs. Now, of course, I got to sell them. So as a free market guy, well, let's say organic chicken eggs, not heritage, just organic, whatever, eggs in the store, $10 a dozen. Let's sell multicolored thing for $7 direct to customers. How many eggs am I going to sell? All of them. It's very exciting. Now, of course, you got to be close to a market, and that's a whole other tangent. So I get all of my hatching eggs for these guys for free. I get all of my hatching eggs for these guys for free. There's no cost. Sell day-old ducks, day-old this. So off of one incubator, that's $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year with zero expenses. Now, let's say, oh, I can't sell all my hatching eggs. You can make more eggs or have a feed cost and raise these guys up to a month old. The price increased on them to 4.5 months, 5 months old. They just started laying. You know what a just starting laying heritage breed laying hen is, and the demand for that today with the amount of people. And one more tangent. In my local community, some government person had a bright idea that you can't sell eggs from small homesteads at farmers markets. They proposed a thing to kill the rest of the producers. So if you can't sell eggs at a farmer's market, well, you can come see me direct, right, to get eggs, and the hell with anybody's stupid things. Anyway, you can't even get eggs at the farmer's market, good eggs. So the demand for little chicken operations, you start a hatchery and you kind of adapt. So instead of cut back on the egg production and hatch chicks for other people to help them out, right? Or you have a feed cost, and these guys grow fast and they eat a lot, have a feed cost, but they get up, and then instead of a $10 little guy, duck that just started laying or something, $40. Fed only organic feed, right? Those are $40. So as time goes on, you get more value there. Now, of course, you have to sell all that stuff, right? So, but I like diversified things. Now, my wife, and again, it's just us doing all these things. So we could definitely manage the greenhouse a little bit better. Like, we barely have stuff planted in there right now for like sellable vegetables and things. just busy. But she does trays. I think most of these are flowers and perennials for her plant sale that she's doing. And all her plants are pretty well spoken for already. That's thousands and thousands of dollars, but she just does it part-time and she loves it, right? Like, I don't even know what she's got here. Vegetables, a lot of flowers are just in demand. Baby eucalyptuses for other people with greenhouses. That's not even any food yet. That's just a plant sale. Actually, my kids at age 5 years old, they have enough to buy each a quad after this sale. Their own quad with their own money at 5 years old. Like, how great is that for entrepreneurship? And then we didn't even get to all the other stuff, like making the things we can out of eucalyptus trees and the fruits and vegetables and things. We didn't even get to the gardening stuff or market gardening stuff. All this stuff, maybe you're overwhelmed watching. I love it. I'm figuring it out as I go, right? Like this sucks. It smells like a barn in here. This really sucks. So, but I'm trying to figure it out. A better brooding system for a simpler operation and easier clean. Simple grow out thing in my barn, because I don't like this setup in my greenhouse. I don't want animals in here. But a setup over there, and I'm kind of experimenting for the size of the operation that I'm doing and ease of doing it. If the total operation's bringing in 6 figures now, and I pay a farmhand 30, like a good, decent wage and a place to live or whatever it ends up being, then that means I don't have to do that stuff. I can move on to the more substantial things and expand, and one person can take over my 2-hour-a-day operation. And once in a while, you know, a day here and a day there, clean out chicken coops or move cattle around. And there's other things. Now, it's just like having a business, but it's a multifaceted, sustainable business. I'm not just starting a hatchery. I'm not just having a greenhouse. I'm not just doing grow outs, and I'm not just doing eggs, and I'm not just doing beef, and I'm not just doing dairy. It's a multifaceted approach of things, as opposed to, let's say, well, Dean, you're a wannabe farmer. Well, I'm a city boy. I don't have experience with big combines and machines and growing canola and grains. I have no idea. But when I do talk to some small farmers who do it part-time, it's like, well, this year I got $200,000 in inputs. I have all these machines to maintain, and best case scenario, I get $300,000 worth of grain at the end of it. It's like, well, geez, I don't really have any inputs. I had initial infrastructure and inputs, and I make as much as you without risking $200,000 a year. And I grow food that I eat, right? Beef and eggs and other things. But hopefully that's a little bit of motivation, because there's a lot of homesteaders that throw in the towel, right? You have to get to a certain level and a certain point to do things. But hopefully that's a little bit of motivation. I'm just stubborn enough, and I can see the future. I experiment and figure out what's going to work. What a great setup, right? So to provide food for my family, so the average family of 5 in Canada spends $20-some thousand a year. If I'm producing 80% of my food groups, roughly, because I can't grow coffee and salt and cane sugar if I need, and black pepper and things, but 80% of my other organic stuff. Now, $20,000 a year for family 5, that's not organic, that's average. The average food, if you go into the grocery store, I don't know. You want the organic and good stuff around the perimeter of the grocery store? No, you can up that to at least $30,000 a year for your family. So there's savings. Saving money is better than making money. Plus, you make like more than the average Canadian on a homestead. You're at home. We homeschool our kids, set it up. But again, it takes capital injection. It takes stubbornness, and it takes a suffering, if you will. Like you push through for many years and you get set up, and I'm still not set up, but this is the path to a 6-figure operation off of a homestead. Should I have just stuck with freeze-dried smoothies, advertise on Facebook ads, and just freeze-dried smoothie? That's what I do. I do one thing. There's lots of people with a company and they do one thing and sell one thing and don't do anything else. No, I'm stubborn. I'm in it for preparedness, self-sufficiency, and the long haul, and a multi-generational thing, protecting my boys. I'm literally starting businesses, the baseline, foundation of businesses for my boys, to protect them. Doing these things, I'm not worried too much about things in the world. I don't give a shit about politics or tariffs or anything like that. My biggest concern is teaching my boys, educating them, keeping them healthy, and world's probably not going to be a good place. I have to protect them and set things up ahead of time, literally for them. That's what keeps me up at night. You could start hatcheries, egg-laying operations, beef. I didn't even talk about pigs and goats and gardens outside and the fruit orchard and U-pick operation and agro-tourism, meat turkeys, meat birds, meat rabbits, meat goats, meat pork, and all the other things that we do in small scale. But you can do that system as well very easily once you kind of get the main stuff set up. We didn't even talk about the tinctures, the medicines, the slight value add products that we can only sell in person only because of government, essentially. If we had more time, my wife could be relieved of a few more things and you have a bigger plant sale. She just does what she does. But you have a farmhand, works 2 hours a day on chores, you're paying them for 8. Today, we are handling customers for the plant sale. Today, we are planting this. Today, we are, here's some Saskatchewan grown bananas ripening there. We are fully utilizing this space that could be row crops and tomatoes and, lettuces or something. We are going to assemble multiple more fish tanks and do an aquaponic system about fish protein because I got somebody paying 8 hours a day for 2 hours worth of chores. We're going to keep somebody busy, not busy enough that it's a pain in the butt. I want to provide a good life for people just like it's a good life for my family and I, but wow, how exciting. Selling banana pups. Now, a lot of this stuff, the biggest thing is when you have a lot of local customers dealing with orders and little things, so you got to automate some of that, but I got to adjust websites, and there's a lot of macro things for the system to make it work that I have to do. I have to eliminate my daily chores because it takes too much of my time and pump out some more YouTube videos for you. Now, inflation is one of my biggest concerns because that's a 100% inevitable thing. If you have a business or a large farm that has large operating costs and small margins, your costs are going to go up. Sure, you're going to make a tiny bit more with inflation because your product's going to be worth more, your grain that you're producing. But if you have $1 million a year in input costs and you're only bringing in 1.3 and the price of everything doubles, you have 2 million in input costs. And sure, your grain is worth more, but because of inflation, people are going to be poorer. You're actually going to sell less. So what if you have systems set up of the frugality portion where you set things up, you don't have a lot of ongoing costs or new costs. Like I produce my own grass for the beef, feed for the beef. This doesn't have a heating bill. We save our own seeds and do that and can do cuttings and seedlings. And my costs don't go up, but my production does. That's how you protect yourself against government money printing, aka inflation. Frugality is where it's at. And then as you go along, I spend the majority of time, I have one of the largest, I have this crazy video coming up for you guys. When I get to my solar panel system, it'll be the largest DIY, fully off-grid battery-backed solar panel system that's probably anybody's ever seen. But take the whole farm off-grid. So instead of my electricity expense per month, I can eliminate that. And I like doing it, and I like showing you guys how to do that. Part of this is frugality, being successful. So when I say a 6-figure operation, I mean a 6-figure operation. I don't have a lot of expenses. Total baseline operating costs for a farm like this isn't much more than a standard condo or a small house in the city. Okay, that's how I set things up to be successful, resilient, prepared, protect myself against the future, protect myself against politics, inflation. If you're stuck in a rat race you made for yourself, that's a bad business. I have done many things. My first business, I rented a warehouse, $6,000 a month, brand new building, supposedly high efficient, $1,200 a month natural gas. Don't make a rat race for yourself. I know it's intimidating. I got an idea. I need to rent a building. I need to do this. I need to start a business. You made a rat race for yourself with the baseline. You got to make 6 figures to break even on baseline costs. I don't have that. Boom. That's how you do it. So the next thing, I'm decking this out. I'm going on a cross-Canada trip, 48 hours of driving. You can expect some sweet videos. I reached out for things I wanted to buy, like off-grid dual zone coolers, solar panel, Blue Eddy Charger 1 to charge solar generator, another e-bike I'm taking on my journey, and I'm decking out literally an off-road camper van. It's gonna be sweet, but that's what I've been up to. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.